All right, let's hear Sark, and we can build on
Yes.
this conversation based on our just a moment ago conversation. Sark said, one of the cool things about 11 o'clock games, fans may not always like them. He thanked the fans for being there early and the student section for being loud and singing the eyes of Texas after the win. But then he went home, did what he does in the postgame, went home and enjoyed watching college football with his baby.
Right, first time.
First time he sat with the baby and watched some games. And here's what he took from watching college football. Here's Sark, kind of unfiltered Sark on what he did Saturday night, kind of what we all did on Saturday night. One thing, there we go. Thank you.
I was holding my son. It was kind of fun. He and I first Saturday watching college football together, so that was kind of neat. I was jumping around. Some of these channels, you can get like 4 games going on one screen. So I was watching a lot of stuff, and I was watching Clemson in a dogfight with Troy. I was watching Georgia and rain delays against Austin Peay. I watched OU and Michigan have a great game. There was a lot of great games on, and you learn a lot. And you think, man, is this just us, man? Are we screwed up? Well, there's some pretty good teams that were struggling around Saturday a little bit too, and there were some other teams that looked really good. And maybe they're a little ahead of the curve. I don't know. Trust in our process of getting our guys ready to go. But it was great to have an opportunity to do that. The 11 a.m. kicks, I know it's not everybody's favorites, but when you have an 11 a.m. kick for a home game and you're home and the sun's still out and you get to watch a little college football, it's kind of fun for me.
All right, kind of fun. And, there were teams scuffling. Now, Alabama scored 70 points, but they lost the previous week. Work in progress. And, people will text us and say, well, you guys are making excuses now. No. If you're listening to our show, how many times did we say, leading up to this first game and now the second game, this team is going to lean on its defense early as its offense develops?
Said a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
It's going to lean on its defense as the offense evolves. And I believe this is what we're watching.
Yeah.
So when it's not where you want it, that means that your expectations were different than the reality. And it doesn't mean saying they've been perfect. They've been a lot of mistakes. We've pointed them out clearly, but that's part of the work in progress in my mind of what they are and what they're going to be. Because what they are now, as said this last hour in our Horns at Half Past, they still are a playoff team in my mind. Because I think they're going to keep getting better. And one of the good fortunes, or some will say it was all, Greg Sankey waving his magic wand, but there are currently 11 SEC teams in the AP Top 25. 11. Oklahoma plays 8 of those. All 8 of their conference games are against teams ranked. You know what the 5 teams who aren't ranked on this Tuesday morning have in common? Texas plays all of them.
On the schedule, yeah.
Texas plays all of them.
Right.
They play Kentucky. They play Mississippi State. They play Vanderbilt, who might be ranked by the time they play them.
Should be.
We'll learn more about Vanderbilt this week when they play South Carolina.
That's true.
Or is that this week or next week? But either way, those 5, Kentucky, Mississippi State. I mean, the Texas has a schedule that features 3 currently ranked teams: Oklahoma, Georgia, and A&M. I think they're going to be in the playoff. That's my prediction. Would I pick them right now to win the national championship based on 120 minutes of football? No.
That game is this week.
Okay, yeah, I thought
Vanderbilt at South Carolina.
Be a big game. But that's one of the 5 unranked SEC teams. So Texas has a benefit, much like last year, has a good draw. If they keep getting better and stay healthy, I think they're going to be fine. Here's Sark addressing that on the work in progress nature of the offense, because it was fair. What'd you see on the tape? Because Sark does a good, bad, and ugly on Mondays after the game with his team like we do. And, there was plenty, even though they scored 38 points, there was still plenty of ugly and things to work on, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
I would say offensively, varying game plans. What I like about our offense right now, I think these guys are coachable. When we make an emphasis on things to improve upon, whether it's individual players or as a unit, they've responded. We obviously challenged Arch from one week to the next. I think he responded. And there's growing pains still in there. When we challenged him on, creating more explosive plays, breaking more tackles, I think our guys have responded to that. Now, we need to be more consistent. We need to take practice to the game. I think the details in our offense need to improve. But again, we've got some, I hate saying young players. We have some new faces, and there's going to be some growing pains. I wasn't naive to that, to think we were just going to be a well-oiled machine the first month of the season. But I want to see incremental growth. And there were some errors Saturday that need to improve. Our third down pass protection needs to improve, not from a physical standpoint, but schematically of understanding the stresses on our protections, and then who's responsible for those things when they arrive. And we've had a couple breakdowns now through 2 weeks that we need to improve upon. So all in all, from this morning, it was all encompassing. To me, as a team, I feel a little bit like, they know we have good coaches, and our players know we are going to scheme people up, and we're going to scheme up free blitzers. We're going to scheme up coverages to disguise and get hands on balls. We're going to scheme up plays to get people open down the field. I don't want our players relying on the scheme. I want our players relying on their fundamentals, their techniques, their details, and their effort. That coupled with scheme, that's when we become really dangerous. And so as coaches, maybe we pull back a little bit on scheme and we get back to fundamentals, technique, effort, details of how we execute plays. Then we can put those two things back together, and I think that's when we'll be at our best as a team.
All right, so work in progress. And there's the coach laying it out. To think, from what you just heard, he clearly understands the assignment. Right now, the defense has allowed 21 points in 2 games. We said, championship-level defenses allow on average about under 14 points per game. So far, they're on that pace.
They're on that pace, right.
And yes, they gave up 7 points to San Jose State, but that's going to win you a lot of ball games if 7 points is the output. A lot of people wanted a shutout. Maybe they'll get a shutout against UTEP. But defense is and it's making its own mistakes, too, that they've got to get fixed.
They haven't been perfect.
The one touchdown drive against Ohio State was 2 penalty aided, which happened. But that would have been a 7-point defensive effort at Ohio State. And so the defense is going to carry the offense until the offense evolves. The thing I've been most disappointed in, I still think the special teams needs work. Jay Baumeister is a really good punter, but their punt returns are like their 115th through 2 games. Not real happy with Ryan Niblett, and when he does field the punt and when he doesn't look like they have much opportunity to create a return. They've roughed the kicker. The special teams, and Jeff Banks got to get that on point, man. I still don't think the special teams is great. I think they're better at Mason Shipley at kicker.
I've just seen such a small sample size. What, 1 field goal technically other than the extra points?
Yeah, but this team, if they get defense and special teams corrected with a lot of talent and the offense comes along, to his point right there, we can be the team we want to be. And right now they still, because of their schedule and I think how they're going to improve, they are a playoff team to me. I wouldn't pick them to win the national championship, but ask me in a month.
Right.
Ask me in early November, because I think they have the ability. They showed you that in Ohio and Columbus. They have the talent to go toe to toe and play with and beat anybody.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of
the country.
Right. You got to take advantage of these games that you have, and that's why I was more disappointed about this past Saturday, is because I felt like they didn't really take full advantage. Yes, Arch looked better, and even though he was grimacing,
they were unfocused this week.
It just was an unfocused.
Period.
It felt like they weren't taking it too seriously. Yeah, and it speaks volumes of how talented the team is. They still won 38-7. This wasn't really a close game. That 5-minute stretch where they had 28 points, that's where everything opened up.
I think that is exactly what Sark's point was right there. How did they get those points? Well, they forced turnovers defensively because you're leaning on your defense. But that's the scheme part he's talking about.
Yeah.
They dialed up some great plays.
They did.
Once they got to see what San Jose State was doing, and the scheme, Parker Livingstone was wide open. Jack Endries was wide open. I mean, those were scheme plays. But when they just went mano-a-mano and kind of pulled back from the scheme and went vanilla again, they didn't move the ball.
No.
That's what they have to work on against these inferior teams. That's exactly what he's talking about right there. Yeah, we can be explosive. We'll dial up a play, but go make a play.
Right.
Go beat an individual matchup. Go win a one-on-one. Go, shove somebody 6 yards back off the offensive line and let's go.
Rep for rep. Let's go.
You're better than that guy. Don't let him get the push on you. That's what I think they're going to want to see against Sam Houston. All right.